So the time has come for you to consult with a divorce lawyer. Now, in my view, even if you don't end up wanting to retain a lawyer at this time, if you are just at the start of your divorce or your separation process, what you want to do is make absolutely sure that you have at least spoken with a lawyer in your jurisdiction who specializes in family law, who is going to have a clear understanding of what your concerns are, your unique family's situation, so that you can be armed, ready, building that foundation of ensuring that you know your legal rights and that you know your responsibilities. And so make sure that if you're going through a divorce or separation process, before you dive into negotiating with your ex, for example, maybe you're amicable enough that you can sit down and have a cup of coffee and see if you can work out an agreement. Well, that's a great idea. However, what you want to make sure is you are armed, that you have the foundation of having met with a lawyer just once. Now, in this video, I'm going to share 6 tips with you, 6 tips that are going to make your first appointment with your divorce lawyer or the person you meet, even for an hour or two, even if you're not retaining them, as efficient as possible. Because when you meet with your divorce lawyer for the first time, and it's a very efficient meeting, you are going to save time, you're going to save stress and overwhelm, and you're going to save money. So all of those things are a great thing. So before you choose that lawyer to meet with, I have a couple of suggestions about how you want to make sure that you're meeting with the right kind of lawyer. Now, maybe you have had this lawyer recommended to you by people you trust, friends, family members, other people. Well, that might be a great start for sure. Now, if you don't have access to friends, family, other people who know you're going through this process or who have gone through it themselves and they don't have a referral for you, well, the thing to do is you want to make sure when you're Googleizing it, doing the search for a divorce lawyer, you want to make sure, A, that they specialize in family law. That is what they do, that is their passion, that is their focus. So that's number one. The second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that the lawyer you are meeting with has really great reviews from previous clients who they have acted for. So the thing is, if they have no reviews, or the reviews are really terrible, then maybe that might not be the lawyer for you and your changing family. So you want to be able to check that out. And the reason you want a lawyer to have really great reviews, at least mostly positive, is that sometimes a lawyer might come across as really great and charismatic. And you think, wow, this person's really got my back. And maybe they don't really follow through that well. I'm thinking about a lawyer that used to act for people in my city. And that person was really great at the very beginning of his client relationships and when he was getting in these big fat retainers from people. But then after he got in the big fat retainer, that was the end of it. And then he would just go on to get other big fat retainers and wouldn't really do the work. So his reviews were terrible, even though he kind of came across pretty powerfully and great at the beginning. So check your reviews. Now that you've chosen your lawyer or who you're going to meet with, you want to be able to ensure that your meeting with them is as efficient as possible and that you don't waste your time, money, energy, stress meeting with the wrong person. And so here are my 6 tips for you getting prepared to meet with your divorce lawyer for the first time, even if you don't retain them, your initial meeting. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you are meeting with your divorce lawyer or a person you're going to hire, or just getting that initial information, you want to make sure that they're very clear about the expectation of your first meeting. Now, do they offer a 15 or 20-minute initial consultation or a half an hour and then you pay after that? Or do they only have paid consultations? Well, you want to be very, very clear about what the expectation is. Now, why do you want that? You want that for a couple of reasons. First of all, if they're not clear with you at the outset about what the expectation is, how clear are they going to be as a negotiator? How clear are they going to be with you as your case evolves if you do hire them? So you want to make sure that they are clear. For example, in my law office, we have paid consultations. We don't do consultations for free. And the reason we don't do them for free is because we put a lot of time, energy, effort into meeting with our potential clients for the first time. And again, sometimes people just meet with us for an hour and they don't even come back for a year or 6 months or 3 months. And then they come back and they say, hey, reached an agreement with my ex. Can you draft this agreement, for example? So we want to be clear with each other in terms of the agreement for the initial consultation. Now, the second thing that you want to do, number 2, is you want to make sure that you have provided your lawyer with basic information. So there's nothing worse than sitting in an initial meeting, knowing it's costing you, I don't know, several $100s an hour or more with the tax and all that kind of stuff. And they're sitting there going, sorry, could you tell me the first name of your child again? Is that D, E, is that an S or a Z? Oh my gosh, what a waste of your resources. And so what you want to do is ensure that you have all the basic information laid out. And what do I mean by basic information? Well, you want to have your birth date, your spouse's birth date. You want to set out when you started cohabiting. You want to set out when you got married, if you're married. You want to set out as well when you separated, if you're separated, and also if you're separated and living under the same roof, if that's the case. You want to have your full names, all of it, each of your full names. You want to have your kids' full names, their birth dates, just all of that basic information so that your lawyer, the person that you're meeting with, is going to have that right in front of them, which gives them a snapshot of your circumstances. So they're not wasting time getting the spellings of everybody's name and middle names and dates that people forget. Oh, hey, it's me. Interrupting a little bit because I want videos like this to reach more people. So if you are enjoying what you see, if you're finding it helpful, please hit the subscribe button, which is somewhere up there. And also tell me, what was the biggest takeaway you had with respect to this video? Leave it in the comments below and I will answer every comment, every question, because that's what I do. And the thing is that most law offices, at least mine does, before someone meets with us, we actually send out a questionnaire so that we have our clients fill it out, our potential clients fill it out, or these consultations fill it out. So again, when we meet with them, we are hitting the ground running, not wasting our time with spelling of names or getting birth dates. We are hitting the ground running, being able to focus on what you need, what's important to you, and giving you an outline generally of the law based on your unique circumstances, because every single family who's going through a separation has a unique set of circumstances. And the sooner the lawyer you're meeting with understands what that set of circumstances is, the better. Now, number 3, the third thing you want to do is you want to give this potential lawyer, your lawyer, maybe the person you're going to hire, a very clear understanding of your financial circumstances. So, for example, just recently, I had a consultation with a potential client. He indicated that his wife made, oh my gosh, all the money, like tons, like 800 a year or something, and that he was making 80. And so what I didn't realize and what he hadn't set out in our intake form was a very clear understanding of their property circumstances. So what I didn't realize and what I didn't know until he shared it with me was that no, it's not a situation that they have like this huge power imbalance, but actually, even though he made less money in his job, they actually had a lot of private investments that completely equalized them out in a huge way. So the thing is that if you are a homeowner, you want to be able to set out the address of the home, the legal description of your home, and also, if there's a mortgage, what's the balance? Do you have any idea what the value is? Say what the value is. And if you have other properties, what is that value? If you have a company, does it have a value, or is it more like a company where the person's incorporated, but it's actually just them doing their job? So you want to be able to give the lawyer a very clear indication of your financial circumstances. And that's going to be very helpful for having this lawyer understand your particular and unique situation. Number 4 is you're going to want to share with them the reasons why you're going through your separation or divorce. Now, if you live in a no-fault country, state, or province, and if it's a community property, country, state, or province, probably the reasons why aren't necessarily that relevant in terms of a legal basis. Again, check with the lawyer you're meeting with in your jurisdiction. However, often when you share with the reasons why, that assists the lawyer you are meeting with is in understanding the context. One of the things that I often say to people I'm meeting with, I say, I'm asking you these questions, not necessarily because they have legal significance. However, what it does is it gives me this context of your circumstances, almost like a mural. And this is your life. And this is how I fit in all the things that are important for you. So it really helps lawyers understand what matters. And so that's what's really important. Now, number 5, this is the tough stuff, but you also want to tell them if there is something significant that they should know. For example, if there has been family violence, you want to be clear about that. If there has been, physical, emotional, anything like that kind of violence, or if you or the opposing party, that being your ex-spouse, actually have a personality disorder or mental health issues. And what about the kids? If your kids are really struggling, it's super important to let your lawyer know about that. Finally, this is a super important point. If you have documents, for example, if you have been served with court documents, or you have had a letter given to you by your spouse's lawyer, or you've had a previous court order and you're trying to get it changed, make sure you bring your documents to the initial consultation with your lawyer. I can't tell you how many times I've had people say, yeah, well, we've got this order and it really isn't working out and I want to change it. And I'll say, great, do you have a copy of that? Oh, yeah, I should have probably brought that, shouldn't I have? Yeah, you should have. So the thing is again, when you are wanting to be very, very prepared for meeting with your lawyer for the first time, you want to make sure you're ready and organized because it will save you resources, that being your time, your stress, your money, and it will ensure that you can really focus on getting the advice you need coming out of the gate and also being able to connect with the lawyer that might end up acting for you so that you can determine, is this the lawyer for me? So again, here are the top 6 steps. Number 1, make sure that they are clear about the fee arrangement at the outset. Number 2, make sure that you have the basic information provided to them. Number 3, your financial circumstances. Make sure you are clear about that and that you give them the financial information. Number 4, you want to make sure that you share with your lawyer, if you can, what the reasons are for your divorce or separation. Again, that helps them with the context of what's important to you. Number 5, you want to make sure that if there are any personal risks that your lawyer should know about. Are your children struggling? Are there violence concerns? Are there safety concerns? You want to share that with your lawyer so that they are well aware of what is the most important thing for them to focus on, or the most important things. And of course, finally, if there are documents of any sort in relation to these proceedings, make sure you bring them with you so that the lawyer can review them and give you initial great advice that's going to help move your matter forward, saving you valuable resources. This is Val. Much, much love. If you found this video helpful, and I hope you did, please give it a thumbs up. Because if you do that, then this video will be able to reach more people. And as well, if you want to stay in closer touch with me, please ring the little bell icon so that you can subscribe to this channel. This is Val. Much, much love.